Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Still love it loud? So do we. Rockin' Pod returns to Nashville on Saturday, August 25th. Over 25 rock podcasts from all over North America, recording on site. Vinyl and memorabilia dealers selling the best in rock merchandise. And awesome rock musicians and personalities participating in signing sessions and on-stage panel discussions throughout the day. Special guests include current and former members of Korn, Kiss, Angel, Winger, Loudness, Accept, Bang Tango, King Tracy, as well as producers that have worked with Slayer, Ozzy, Alice Cooper, Sevendust, and many more. More guests being added weekly. Don't miss your chance to be part of an awesome celebration of all things rock. Rockin' Pod takes place at the legendary Nashville Palace, August 25th, 2018. More details available at rockinpod.com. That's ROCKNPOD.com. The Nashville Rockin' Pod Expo. Brought to you by Blind Tiger Record Club, School of Rock Nashville, and School of Rock Franklin, a DBG Productions event.
Welcome back to the show. This is episode number 133. This week we have Chip Z'Nuff from Enuff Z'Nuff on the phone. But of course, before we get to him, we got to get through our bullshit first. Dennis, start this
Bullshit. Bullshit?
Well, everything you say is bullshit, Dennis.
Well, we do want to bring up, we talked about last time Aretha Franklin was on her deathbed, and she did pass away just right after our show, I believe, or the next morning. Thoughts and prayers out to her. You know, she was a remarkable woman and an icon. Did a lot of stuff. I've seen Gene Simmons on CNN talking about her, actually.
Oh, really?
Kind of odd.
Gene Simmons was talking about her?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
But anyway.
Well, Gene is not one that's going to pass up an opportunity to get to talk.
Well, of course, and he had a story about when he was dating Diana Ross that he talked to her at one time or something. Yeah,
I figured there was a Diana Ross thing in there.
Yeah. So anyway, and the only other news I've got is it's personal news. I have resigned from my band of 8 years just this week. It's one of those situations where I've been dealing with carpal tunnel issues for a few years now. They've just recently in the last year, got pretty bad. And to play a whole 45 song night is very tough. So that's why time I get done, my hands are locking up. They're doing this on the way home. They're jacked up. I'm having to actually physically pull my fingers apart, and it just gets to be nasty. So I just I'm going to hope that they are going to go on, continue. So they are going to be looking for somebody to be playing. Like I said, I've been with these guys since 2010, I believe is when it was, and played a lot of shows, played a lot of gigs, a lot of songs, a lot of laughs.
How many gigs do you think you played with them?
You know, I was thinking about that today. It's hard to tell. I mean, we had some years where we were playing a lot, and then this year we didn't play a lot. If I had to guess, I mean, just on average, I would say maybe 100, 80 to 100.
That's it? Really?
We didn't play a whole. I mean,
I thought you guys played.
But I have to really sit down. I mean, I'll have that for next show because I mean, we did play one time. We played 12 weeks in a row that one summer, 12 weekends in a row, and then we'll take off a couple months. You know, this summer we've only did like 5-6 gigs this year. You know, so it was a slow year. So yeah, I'd have to really sit down and think about that. We were I always try to keep it to 2 a month. So even at that, so 20 on average, if you don't want to say 24. So 28, well, maybe it was more than that. Maybe it's closer to 200. I don't know. I have to think back. I think my drummer has every one of our calendar books. I'll have to go through and actually look through. And
I would imagine somebody's tracked every one of those you've been to because that's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
If I
Cool.
could get back into my old MySpace account, I could tell you how many gigs Chowder Monkey used to do.
There you go. Yeah, I could go back to Facebook.
Does that even exist anymore?
Chowder Monkey or MySpace?
No, MySpace.
They both don't exist anymore.
Neither. Well, MySpace still does exist, and I actually tried for my the original music that I do. I tried to log into my old MySpace thing the other day, and I can't remember the password, so I did the password reset, and I never get the reset link to reset the password. So I don't know.
But anyway,
Oh,
like I said,
no.
I'm gonna miss it, but that's just the way it is. And unless I get my fingers working again or something, I'm gonna be taking a little break. I got some recording equipment I've never used, and I need do some shit like that. I need to record some stuff. And
Yeah, Dennis needs me to come over and teach him how to use his
I do,
recording
I do.
software.
you showed me that one time a few tricks, and I haven't used them since then. I got some nice stuff. I actually took his advice and bought what I needed, so I've got some really nice, high quality shit. But just
Maybe
don't
you
know
can
how to
clean up.
use it.
Maybe you can clean up that room while you're not playing. Like, get rid of that
You know
piece of shit thing on the over your right shoulder.
what, that thing?
The Gene Simmons vault.
The vault?
No, the on top of the vault.
Oh, the elder? There's the elder on there.
Yeah, it smells. I can smell it from here.
The smelter.
Did I play that today? No, I did not. I got my originals out and I
Because there's
played.
no reason to play it.
I played the first album and the set and Hotter Than Hell. I just kind of I was sitting here messing around and put it on the old console.
So you
Anyway.
left Dress to Kill out of that selection?
No, I didn't have time. I had something else I got to do. So, Bill, what you got, brother?
Man, I tell you what. So I went to there's a guy in just north of here, about I don't know 20 miles or whatever. He posted a thing on ColumbusGarageSale.com that he had some LPs for sale, and he had a really nice photos. They were into a display. So I thought like he had a shop. Well, the shop's actually in his house, in a bonus room above his garage, which was really cool. So had some great prices on stuff. Had a lot of really good stuff. I could have probably been broke when I got home. And then got broke by my wife when I got home. Anyway, I did buy my first Led Zeppelin record. I've never owned a Led Zeppelin album. So I did buy that. Red Zeppelin. Bought that. Queen, News of the World.
That's a great album. I've got that actually on album.
I've had that back when I was younger. Picked this up too. A little High and Dry, Def Leppard.
That's really good.
One of my favorite Triumph records. This has got Tears in the Rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know that one.
I am pretty sure this was the album on the tour that I saw. Well, sort of.
With Yngwie? I saw him with Yngwie.
Well, let's go with this was in 1980. This says 86.
86. No, because they had when I saw him with Yngwie, that was
86. No, I saw him earlier than that.
that was 83 or 84.
Yeah, I saw him earlier than that. So it wasn't this tour, but whatever tour I saw them on. Whatever. Okay, we'll just quit talking about that. White Snake
Allied
30
Forces.
anniversary.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And it was opened, but had only been played once, so it's brand new. $15.
Cool.
Bon Jovi.
There you go. Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's good.
Yep. And then you guys are gonna freak out, but here you go, a little Ronnie Millsap.
Yeah. So they got Smoky Mountain Rain on it.
I think it does. No, it doesn't.
That's one of mine and
Oh, yeah,
Chet's
that's
acoustic
a song.
songs.
Yeah.
That's a fun song to play.
I like him. I think he's pretty good. I've always liked him for a long time.
The only thing that just gets me,
He hasn't seen me at all.
the only thing that gets me about Ronnie Millsap is one of the songs that he does. No, it's Terry Gibbs. He says something about seeing the devil with his blue jeans on.
Oh.
Wrong, visually impaired country artist. Sorry.
I'm gonna say because
Couple of them,
he doesn't wear those glasses to be cool.
Neither did she.
Yeah. No,
Anyway, so those are my vinyl finds. It's a pretty good deal, man. I got all this for $35.
it's a good deal.
So
Right
great
on.
deal. And I told him, don't worry, I'll be back. He said,
Bring it through.
every couple months, so I can call him and I can call him, and he said he'd hook me up. So you have to like make an appointment because it's at his house, at his home. So it's kind of cool.
Cool.
And it wasn't sketchy or anything, which is good.
Yeah,
And then
he said, "Does this rag smell like chloroform?"
They closed it.
You need some lotion. You need some lotion
closed the
on
Karma
your
up here, and he bought the racks from Karma. So their vinyl racks are nice. They're really pretty cool.
Nice.
And he's got quite a bit of stuff. I think he has like over 800, like 750 or something like that of his.
Bill's been fished. He's been hooked. He's in now. Now he'll.
But like I said, he made me a great deal. So I told you I spent $35, and the White Snake album was $15. So
yeah, that's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
Awesome.
There's a bug in here. And then Saturday we went to see, Lisa and I and our friends Jane and Michelle went to see Rod Stewart and Cyndi Lauper.
How was that?
Well, interesting. It was supposed to start at 7:30. We got to the venue. We parked about 7:10, which is going to give us 20 minutes to walk in. And she started while we were in the parking lot. And by the time we got in, it was 7:30ish, and she'd done 3 songs.
Really?
And one of them was She Bop, and there was another one that was True Colors. And I'm like, okay, I mean, we missed like it.
Well, that sucks.
What the hell? Yeah, that kind of sucked.
Now, was she doing full band, or was she doing her acoustic stuff that she'd been doing?
It was full band.
Oh, cool.
Actually, she sounded really good. The band sounded really good. I was pretty impressed, actually. She did really well.
I like it.
Yeah, and it was fun. I mean, it was definitely what it was supposed to be. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then they did a set change that lasted 15 minutes, and they dropped a screen, and they played some Scottish music or British music or whatever, and out he came, and there we go. And Rod had he had a big band, and he had 6 backup singers, and so it was a pretty good. I would have thought that. I haven't seen him in Vegas. We've talked about doing that when we go there, but we can't get it to align. And but I imagine that's the show he does in Vegas. It was a lot of his hits, and then also some of the stuff he does. You know, he does some cover stuff from the 50s and 60s. Right. So he threw in a couple of those in there. We had a couple of Elton John moments. The second song in, they screwed up the beginning of the song, and he said, "Stop. Just okay. Let's count this off and get this figured out." So he was really cool about it. He wasn't mad or anything like that. They counted it off, started again, but you could tell. I mean, it was like obvious that nobody knew what they were doing because it sounded absolutely horrible. I mean, it was a musical train wreck. It wasn't like you could just save it because if everybody just kind of got on. No, it was.
Was there some sequence to it, and then they weren't along with the track, or they just
no.
They just got off. I mean,
no, they just were. I don't know whether he changed the set list or I don't know what he did. Anyway,
you get that many players, though, it happens.
Yeah. And then so it just got off, and then another song, and the third song, the fourth song, it happened again, and the song got started, and then at a change, it got off again, and they kind of got back on. That was okay. Then later, he brought Cyndi Lauper out to sing a song with him that he sings with Tina Turner, and I can't remember what it is.
I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking. And her mic wouldn't work. He was not a happy dude, and he said,
he's gonna kick somebody in the head with a soccer ball.
He had a mic in his hand. He goes, "Can somebody make this fucking thing work?" he said, "I cannot figure out why on God's earth." And he dropped the F-bomb 4 or 5 times. He goes, "Let's get your shit together." And he's like trying to take a mic. Somebody came out and handed me a mic from somebody else. And he goes, "I don't want that fucking mic." And he's just like,
I love seeing people
not happy. And I'm like, I told Lisa and Jay and Michelle, I said, Alan saw this at Elton John, except for.
And you feel so bad for the performer, and then you feel so bad too then for the stagehands, because they're somebody dropped the ball, but who's to say that could be multiple things that could be happening at the time, but somebody's going to get their ass.
Odds are somebody forgot to replace the batteries in his microphone.
That's what
it wasn't it was the one they gave her. But so I don't think I turned it on. Well, this might be what happened.
So
he was wound up about it, and she's just, she couldn't tell. So she's up there just singing, and he's looking at her, and he's looking at, because on the video, we sat in the lawn, so it's on the video screen. He's looking at her like, babe, there's nothing coming out of there. I don't know if you know it.
So how many songs did he do on the set then? Was it a pretty good long set for him?
It was pretty long. Well,
he could do a 3-hour show easy.
After the second song, he said, we're going to be here for about an hour and 40 minutes. And then after the third script, he goes, I think we owe you people a couple extra songs. So I don't know if he threw a couple extra ones in there. I didn't really look at the time. It didn't matter. It was great. I mean,
about
he
a 2-hour show then, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I thought he was really good, and he sounds really good.
He's got so many songs to play too. I mean,
I wish he wouldn't play the remake stuff. I mean, the remake stuff, because so many of his original, like he didn't do Hot Legs.
Are you serious? He did do that?
He did Hot Legs, and it's
do Maggie May.
Oh yeah, he did Maggie May, and everybody, he did Maggie May, and he stops, and so everybody else just finishes the song for like the last two choruses.
How about what's the other one?
Do you think I'm sexy?
He did. Do you think I'm sexy?
No, I'm trying to think of it's an older one. God damn it.
He did. Have I told you lately that I love you? He did. He did most of them, but there was a couple of them he didn't do, and I was kind of like, nah. But I like,
that's those people that have, a 40 or 50 year career and 30 or 40 albums out. There is no fucking way that they can get every song that everybody wants to hear.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a good show. Weather was beautiful. Couldn't be any better. It had been raining up to that for, earlier that week. By the time we got there, we thought it was gonna be a mud fest. It wasn't too bad, even in the lawn. But
did you end up upgrading?
No, there was no upgrades. It was sold
out.
And
upgrades.
I know you showed up. I know I showed you people that were standing in front of you and stuff. And it's
that was really. We sat down for a while because it was like, I'm not going to stand up for the whole thing of Cyndi Lauper, but it was just busy. I mean,
right.
It was funny. So at Klipsch, they have this weird thing. So they have this like VIP deck that's like a deck that's kind of goes out over the lawn.
Right. They serve beer and stuff there on it. It's like
Yeah. But then there's another area that's kind of fenced in the back of the lawn that's just got seats in it, and you can get some service there.
Okay.
But you have to pay for those seats. But you're not any higher than the people in the lawn.
Right.
So people just walked up, like we walked up and stood in front of the people in the sitting in there, and they're like, you can just sit down. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. I tell you, the closest I've ever come in a show, and as many shows I've seen, of telling some women to shut the hell up. I'm telling you, there was a group of women next to us. All they did was talk the entire time, to the point where everybody was just about, you ladies need to shut up.
I'm getting, I tell you what, the last few shows we've been to has been like that. I mean, it's just like, shut the fuck. Why do you decide to talk now?
I don't even know why you came.
Yeah.
Why did you come?
Would you guys go to the parking lot?
Bar somewhere and
go in the parking lot, get in the car, talk all you want.
At the beginning, they didn't have his mic. At the beginning, his sound wasn't very good, so you couldn't hear him very well. You could hear the band well, but you couldn't hear him very well. So he's talking, and you couldn't he's British, or Scottish, whatever, and you can't understand him hardly anyway. And then those two four hags were over there yapping. So, good God.
Alan, did you went to a show? Was it any better?
It was much better. I went to Chicago last week to see ELO, and fantastic show. The opener was a band called Dawes, Dawes, and I thought that band was really good. I think it's worth your time to pull them up on Spotify or look them up on YouTube and check out a few of their songs.
What's their genre?
They're promoting a new album right now.
If you had to guess, I mean, what would you?
I would just call it rock.
Okay.
I've
never heard of them. That's why I was just curious if it was more
they're
pop
like the rest
or
of us. A couple of them have got the hipster beard going on and all of that stuff. But I mean, they were a really good band.
Right.
I didn't like every song that they performed, but for the most part, I really dug what they played. I bet they played for about 45 minutes. They had a really good set.
Right.
Because the doors opened at 7, the show started at 8. They were done at 8:45, and at 9:15, ELO came out on stage. They started with "Standing in the Rain," which that's not an ELO song that I'm all that familiar with. But then they went into "Evil Woman," and they did a bunch of songs that I know. Then they did 10,538 Overture or something. What? I didn't know that song either. They only did
Right.
really 2 songs that I didn't know.
That's cool.
One of the songs that they did was actually a Traveling Wilbury song. And when they did the Traveling Wilbury song, he showed the pictures of all the members, and give a little tribute to those that are no longer with us.
Which is about what? All of them
All-
now?
Is there
I think-
who's left?
Harrison's Harrison's gone. You got Petty's gone.
Petty's gone. Orbison's gone.
Orbison's gone.
Was Bob Dylan in?
Mm-mm.
I don't think Bob Dylan was.
No, I don't
No,
know.
I don't think Bob Dylan was in there.
Yeah,
Who-
It was just 4 of them, right?
there was just the 4 of them as far as I can
Yeah.
remember.
So yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Wow,
But,
that's interesting. I never didn't think about that.
what I like best about the show, it was an hour and a half on the nose. That is a well-oiled machine. He talked maybe after the second song, "Hello Chicago, thank you for having me back into the music."
Cool, that's good, man. I like that.
One other
None
time,
of those Paul Stanley, one of those
one
like
other
15-minute.
time he spoke for just a very brief, less than
Paul.
less than 15 seconds back into the music.
That's good.
About 4 songs from the end, maybe he introduced the guy that he called the musical director, and he says, "I'm going to have him introduce the band because he could do a better job at this than I can," which tells me that Jeff Lynne never showed up for any of the rehearsals, and he doesn't know anybody in the band's name.
the
but,
guitar guy
yeah.
and the bass
But-
guy.
You know, the,
I-
hired,
I
you know
think-
the hired guns.
I think honestly that he knew the 2 guitar players and the bass player, and everybody else is exactly that. It was hired guns. It was 1 male backup singer, 1 female backup singer, 2 cello players, a violin player, and that girl tore it up. Tore it up. Damn, she was good. She was
Now-
good to look
Now,
at
Alan,
too.
do you know if anybody was in the original
As
ELO
far
at
as
all?
I know, he is the only original.
He was the only original.
That's why it's called Jeff Lynne's ELO on this
Right,
tour.
'cause I don't really actually. I actually couldn't tell you one name besides Jeff. I don't know in that band. I don't know
Yeah.
anybody that was in
I
the
think
original.
there's a lot of bands like that, right? You can't tell them. You can't.
Yeah.
Now let's
Dylan.
get to the coolest part of the whole thing, other than the fact that the ELO kicked ass. That was musically the most perfect show I think I've ever heard. I did not hear one sour note. I did not hear one offbeat or any clunk or anything like that. The coolest thing of the whole thing was beside
Hotel
me.
sex.
Beside me was a 9-year-old boy
Right.
who became an
Cool.
ELO fan because he's taking violin lessons.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
His mom said, if you like the violin, listen to this band. And this kid knew every song. He had such a good time.
Wow.
That was the highlight of the
cool.
show for me.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So are they going to a Kansas show next week? It'd be good for them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tour.
I don't know that there's going to be any more Kansas shows. I believe Laura's home. Can you hear the dogs?
I can. And
Yeah.
with that,
Let the dog.
Well,
yeah.
but before we get to the Chip interview, this weekend, 2 days from the day you see this or listen to this episode, if you listen to it when it comes out, the Nashville Rock and Pod Expo was going on. Brian Head Welch was supposed to be
Saw that.
the big guy there, and the lead singer for Korn's wife passed away earlier in the week, so he's not going to be able
Wow.
to make it to the show. He is going to California for the funeral. So for those of you who are expecting to see Brian, please understand that he is not there, not because he doesn't want to be, but because, Korn is his family, and family comes first.
Right. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
sad
too
that
bad.
it happened. Yeah.
Yes, it's very sad. The circumstances around her, she committed suicide.
Yeah.
But, and if I understand correctly, she was the lead singer for the band Huntress.
Oh, so that's that girl. I didn't realize
I think
that.
I heard that was the same person, but I won't swear to
Okay.
it. And I
'Cause
know
I-
that if I'm wrong, someone will correct us.
'Cause I heard about that girl that did that Huntress girl.
Yeah,
I didn't
I'm-
realize that she
I am
was.
pretty sure that's the same girl.
Wow, how
Yeah.
terrible.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
Crazy.
so on that note, we will see you in a couple of days in Nashville.
Nashville.
And now it's time to have a conversation with Chip Zenough. Yes. All right, here we go. How you doing, Chip?
I'm doing fine here in lovely Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. I was just in Chicago
You were just
this
there.
morning. I went to the ELO concert last night.
Oh, boy, Jeff Lynne is singing his ass off.
Man, that
What
was
a great band. Every single song's a smash hit. The guy's got wonderful pipes. He must have drank it out of the fountain of youth because he still looks and sounds terrific.
Yes, he does. It was a great show.
He should have stuck around because tomorrow night, Pearl Jam.
Well, I got to go back to work tomorrow. Otherwise, I might.
Yeah,
This
free pot and cocaine for the first 500 people.
Well, it's about a 6-hour drive. I'm heading back right now.
this work bullshit gets in the way.
It does.
It
It
does.
certainly does. What a shortcut to thinking.
There you
Especially with the job that you have to take a drug test. That really sucks.
Yeah, I don't like. That's why I chose to be a musician.
There you go.
go. All right, Chip. Well, let's jump right into this. You've got a new album coming out. Won't you tell everybody about it?
Ow.
Yeah, a new album is out right now. It's called Diamond Boy. You can get it everywhere, all social media, iTunes, Apple Music, Deezer, Spotify, Tidal. It's on everywhere. You can't miss it. And, of course, in all the stores that are still available, Amoeba and Rolling Stone and Zed and Sugar. There's a lot of different places you can find the album. And if you can't find it anywhere, if it's sold out, which it usually is, because when people go out and get enough's enough, they keep those records. You can get us on tour. We have it every single night at the shows. So it's called Diamond Boy, and it's available now for everybody. And, hey, I like to see some good first week sales. So it shows the rock world that we're not going away.
Exactly.
And that's a good thing because there's a lot of bands that there has been such a great resurgence of 80s rock bands that are coming back, and 90s, that late 80s, early 90s bands that are coming back and just tearing some shit up. So it's great to see that happening because there is a void that needs to be filled, and I'm glad you guys are filling it.
Well, we're one. Thank you very much. I hope that we are one of them. There's so many great bands out there, and they're all touring right now. Journey and Def Leppard and Cheap Trick and Poison all been out there. But there's other tours going out in bands like Marilyn Manson and Nine Inch Nails. A lot of good tours out there. Metallica and Guns N' Roses, and of course, let's not forget the new bands like Greta Van Fleet and the Struts and Rival Sons. In 1975, there's a lot of really good bands out there. It's just a matter of trying to find their music, and it's out there. You just gotta hustle.
Yeah, I actually just saw the Struts with the Foo Fighters here a couple months ago. Those guys are fucking phenomenal. I love those guys. That dude.
Oh,
that
it's
dude's
like a baby, he's like a little baby Freddie Mercury.
Yes, he is, exactly. Hey, Chip, on your new album, what influenced this new album? I mean, I know you're doing singing properties this time. You're out there doing that. What was your influence on this album?
It's basically picture David Bowie and the Beatles fighting in an alley, and ELO comes in and breaks it up.
I listened to it and I was like going, man, this is so it's very Beatlesque. You know what I'm saying? It has
Yep.
a lot of that influence to it. And I said Chip must. I mean, that's where he's going for, and it sounds great though. I listened to it a couple times here in the last few days, and I really like that album. I really do.
It's a real thanks. I appreciate it. It's a real rock record. At the end of the
It
day,
is.
there's a lot of stuff going on there. We can provide an hour of people letting their hair down and enjoying themselves, hearing some new rock and roll. And it's a potpourri of rock and roll, by the way. It's not just rock. I think it's pop, alternative, heavy metal. It's all mixed together, and that's what Enough Snuff is about. It's not, you can't really pinpoint us to one style. And it shows different shades of what we are about as a band musically, and even our look. Obviously, I've always admired our strut, no pun intended. And here we are putting a record out in the 21st century. It's a miracle. I got to be honest with you guys. And we're very lucky to be out there playing in this day and age because the playing field's pretty tough right now.
Right. Well, you were one of those bands like when MTV was actually playing videos. You remember that day? And
Sure I do.
and when when Flying High Michelle and New Thing was out, you guys were when I first seen you guys, I was like, I liked your look, I liked the way your sound was, I liked the songs, and then that was those two were about, and then MTV stopped playing videos at that point. So right after that.
Well, they played them for quite a while, but then it started
Right.
getting into the shows like Beavis and Butthead and little
Right.
offshoot stuff that was going on. So they spread their wings. Listen, I have nothing but good things to say about MTV and VH1. They
Exactly.
provided a platform for all of us fans. And when I hear a group's bad rap, I go, you're lucky. I think back, they're lucky to get a chance because the playing field at that time was the same way. It was very difficult to get songs. You can only play so many songs a day and
Sure.
only do so many videos. And we made friends with those guys down at MTV, Rick Krim and Abby Conowitz. They're good guys that really believed in the music. And all the stuff they played didn't hit home runs. They had
Right.
bands like Dan Reed Network and Jellyfish, terrific bands that just didn't see the light of day like they deserved. And now people are gravitating to them. It's almost like a Jeff Buckley type thing. Once the artists aren't around anymore, it's all of a sudden people start gravitating and going, yeah, I want to hear this is great music. And it's unfortunate they missed it in the early days. But there's a lot of opportunities out there. You don't just need the television shows. It's
Sure.
The new template now is for bands to go out there and get in a van or get in an Oscar Mayer Wiener wagon or get on a bus if you can afford that and go out and take it to the streets, you guys. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Making a great record and then playing shows all around the country. You'll reach an audience because people are looking for new stuff every day.
Well, it's actually reverted back to the early days. I mean, that's what they did before MTV and everything. They went out and played for everybody. So, it's everything kind of goes in a circle, I guess.
Yes, and it's a tough job for all the bands. Listen, we want to party and hang out with the Trim every single night and burn the candle at both ends. All the rock bands do. And right now, in order to do that, it starts with a great record.
Right.
Trying to come up with some good songs. And then from there, if you could find a home that'll help you promote it, that certainly helps a little bit as well. There's a lot of different formulas out there, but the one that I know about right now during this music business change, because no one knows where it's going from here with the streaming and everything else, I think it's about making a great rock record and doing a wonderful show live, and you reach the fans one by one. It's very tedious out there, but everybody's looking for something new, like I said before. And we got a good record here.
Great, man. So who's on the record? Who is in the band currently?
That's the same band it's been for years.
Okay.
Tony Fennell, the former singer of Ultravox, is playing guitar with Enough Snuff now. Wonderful rock star. Real lucky to have him in the band. Tori Steffregan is also playing guitar. Tori used to be in the band called Black Mollies. And he also plays with the group when he's not with Enough Snuff. He plays with New Black 7. They have a brand new album out as well. Really good. They sound like Blackberry Smoke. So much that they're going to get sued really soon if they don't stop writing songs like that. And last but not least, Daniel Benjamin Hill from Chicago, Illinois, 30 years old, single, and has a propensity to find women at the worst times on the road.
What is that? How do you find a woman at the worst time when you're on the road?
Because now it's, in the old days, you can get away with murder, and it was okay because there was no social media, no internet, none of this. Those pay phones back then, okay, and cassette tapes. We're in a different day and age right now, gentlemen. One bad little boo-boo, a little scar, a wart, anything, a pimple, and it's the push of a button, and everyone knows about it. There's no room for error anymore. You really got to be like a ghost.
You say that, and it's really funny. I was just listening to another podcast the other day. They were talking to the guy who's running the Gene Simmons Vault thing, and they said the other day some woman came out and it was Gene and another person was standing there, and this woman, flops her tits out, basically wants them to sign them. They're going, whoa, 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 just put those back in. It's like if it had been 30 years ago, pins have been flying. They've been signing in things and everything else, and now it's like, nope, too many phones out. We can't do this no more.
Yeah, and I find myself not signing chicken baskets. I leave those alone. At all. Okay, they're to be seen from afar. And I always say at the shows, girls, if you got them, show them. Which is nothing wrong with that. It's a rock show at the end of the day.
Exactly.
I'll never be politically correct, that's for sure. But I think that there's some things that are maybe a little inappropriate, and that's one of them that's off limits to me.
Yeah. Times have changed dramatically, unfortunately.
Well, I think as we get older, then you get married and have different priorities, and that becomes a little bit of an issue. So, yeah, I guess it could be a little testy, for sure.
Well, we have, as musicians, we have a license to do some things that are out of the ordinary, and it's not normal maybe for a politician or a guy working at a construction job or a lawyer or a doctor. But for musicians, we can get away with those certain things, and it's a slap on the wrist at the most. But I prefer nothing like that. We're a peace and love band. Enough Snuff has always been that way, and we're very respectful to our audience.
Right. Tony, we're actually from Southern Indiana. You were originally from Northern Illinois?
No, Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, Illinois.
Forever, yeah. The south side, a little town called Blue Island, Illinois.
Gotcha. So what were your influences when you were growing up? I mean, what was your go-to band at that point?
Well, when I was a little kid, my father would always put on Don Kirshner's rock concert, Wolfman Jack, of course, watch American Bandstand, all those shows.
Sure.
And I think that was the first thing that struck me as something that, hey, maybe I could do this for a living. And, of course, you listen to our band. If you hear Enough Enough, you hear influences like the Beatles. But you also hear Black Sabbath and Cheap Trick and Queen and Led Zeppelin, Mott the Hoople. It's a big mixture. And I've watched all those bands. Big Alice Cooper fan as well. I watched all those groups when I was a young little kid, and I think that instilled this thing inside me that said, okay, maybe I should go out and write songs as opposed to throwing a curveball or a slider. Because I used to play baseball, I played football, basketball, hockey. I was a track star. Did a lot of different stuff like that. I was a total jock. But I always had music there with me at the same time to help me get through the tough times. So, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're just a rock band, but I think we share some pretty good influences.
Cool.
So what kind of touring are you guys going to do to support this new album?
Well, if I had a couple $100,000, I'd buy onto a fucking tour like Guns N' Roses or something else, because those are pretty big audiences.
Yeah,
man, it's just fun. When you're out with the big bands, it's a lot more fun. You're burning the candle at both ends. You're having a great time, meeting all the fans, and then going out to the great restaurants, and of course hitting other places that are a little promiscuous, like i.e. strip clubs. At the end of the day, we are a real rock band. But right now, the next thing for me is this Live Nation tour. Live Nation presents Sirius XM Here Nations tour with Jack Russell's Great White, a band from Los Angeles called the Bullet Boys, and of course us, along with Eddie Trunk, who will be co-hosting in select markets. And there might be a couple other bands in the bill, too, that I don't know about yet, because I think there's a contest where you can win and you can support that tour. So I'm looking forward to a long tour. It starts in September, and you guys, it's going to be jam-packed with action, okay? It starts at the House of Blues in San Diego on September 12th, and it goes all the way through to November 11th. So it's a nice long run for us, really pushing this new album and reacquainting ourselves with an audience and meeting some new people and of course, our older fans out there are going to come out and support that tour. And all three bands collectively sold 15 million records. So I think there'll be a great audience. It's all nice-sized rooms, and it's a really modest ticket price on these shows. You're not paying $100 or $200 or $300 to go see these bands. And I think every night you're going to get a good 3-4 hours of great rock and roll.
Cool. I'm going to have to check that out and see where you're going to be close to me, and I'll try to hit one of those. Sounds like a good show.
You should.
I will see you on I will see you on October 27th in Indianapolis.
Oh, that's right. You said it. What am I doing the 27th?
I bought tickets the first day they went on sale as soon as possible.
Beautiful. I've always loved playing out in Indianapolis. I remember playing out there at the Vogue a long time ago, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
threw us out of after our show because a couple of football players, the Indianapolis Colts, came on stage and were grabbing our equipment and smashing it on stage. We were out of our minds.
It's like,
There
hey,
was
dude,
so
hold
much
on.
drunk there, so much alcohol. We were out of control. And then after the gig, the guys from the Colts said, "Come on, get in our limousine. Let's go to a strip club." I think I got back to the hotel at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was smothered in lipstick.
That was a good night.
That sounds like
great
sounds
night.
That's
pretty
why
awesome.
you remember Indianapolis. I mean, that's why you remember that, right?
It's a great rock and roll town. And in the early days, we did a lot of touring out there. We opened shows for Cheap Trick and, of course, Bullet
Right.
Boys. And I think we even played out there with Def Leppard. I know I toured out there with Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses and the offshoot band Adler's Appetite. So I got some great memories out there, bro. I remember Adler. We went to the strip club, real quick story. And Adler and I went in there, and he goes, "Chippy, the girls are beautiful here." And we ended up staying there until about 5 o'clock in the morning until they shut the doors. And they had to throw us out of the place, actually. And I remember Adler going back to the hotel by himself going, "Chippy, I didn't have a good time." I go, "Why?" He goes, "I spent $3,000 on lap dances." I thought, man, boy, I wish I had Guns N' Roses money.
Yeah, no shit. $3,000 in lap dances. Wow.
That's it.
I've
At
never
the end of the
spent.
night, he was borrowing money. He was borrowing money off me at the end of the night. "Chippy, I need 60." It was great. Really
Most
a lot
people
of fun.
don't-
The show.
Most people don't spend their whole lifetime spending $3,000 on lap dances, much less one.
Oh,
evening.
yes, they do. They're not honest like me. They don't want to admit that because it's a scar. Nobody wants to say that. But I know guys that spend way more than that, my friends.
That's funny.
Wow.
That is funny.
So how did you get hooked up on that tour? How did you just through mutual, management, or did they reach out to you guys? How'd it work out?
Yeah, well, what happened was last year we toured with Ace Frehley. We did 30-something dates with Ace through the company North Star, a guy named Kevin, great agent. And he was kind enough to put us on that tour, and it was so successful that I guess it got back to the Live Nation guys, and they called my agency, Artists Worldwide. I'm with a guy named Chuck Burnell, and he'll book anything if he can make a couple of bucks. And he says, "Chip, I got you on a great tour right now, 3 months out with Jack Russell's Great White, and I think we're going to have King's X and LA Guns on there too." And I said, "Put us on it, bro." And eventually King's X was in the studio recording. They couldn't commit to the tour, and LA Guns is out in Europe at the time. So it just ended up Jack Russell and his band Great White, and of course Great Bullet Boys. So I think it's a good package, bro.
Oh, it's gonna be a good package.
That's
Actually,
gonna be a great show, man.
I've seen Bullet Boys, and they're really good. They're on their game. I mean, I've seen them. It's been about 3 years ago, and they sound real good. And
Yeah, and it's funny too because all three bands have brand new albums out,
right.
and so people go out and check out their records as well. New Jack Russell's Great White, new Bullet Boys called From Out of the Skies, and the Enough's Enough, of course, Diamond Boy. They're all out right now. You can go grab them anywhere.
That's awesome. Did you guys release it on LP also?
Are you kidding me? In this day and age, yeah, that's what's selling the most.
I love that.
Everybody wants vinyl nowadays, bro. It's
You
fantastic.
gotta have vinyl. You gotta have vinyl.
So yeah, it's out on vinyl right now. We just did an in-store in Chicago. We had 100 people show up there on like a Thursday night. I
Right.
was really surprised about that, and we sold all the records out. I think we're going to do Amoeba in a couple of weeks in Los Angeles. So we're doing some in-store signings as well as I'm just running around with this press junket. I did Stern last week, and I did 104.3 out in New York with
Right.
Jonathan Davis. So there's some good opportunities right there that have been provided through our great label, Frontiers. They're working our asses off on this record, and it's perfect timing to go out there and support it on a big tour. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys out there. I hope you guys don't bring any Milton Pepperidge Farm cookies with you.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, no kidding. But no, like I said, I'm looking for
action on that tour, bro. We want to party on that tour.
exactly. No, I'm looking for vinyl. Like I said, I think that's going to be the resurgence. I'm tired of streaming crap. I'm tired of CDs. I want to go back to vinyl. I'm looking for as much vinyl as I can get my hands on. So It's good to hear.
Some people like the stream, and I'm happy with the streaming only because
Yeah,
of the fact
exactly.
that the fans get the music. It's
Right.
not good financially for any of us. We're not going to see mailbox money. As a matter of fact, I just seen Peter Frampton.
Yeah, he got a good check, didn't he?
Yeah, he tweeted out something about one of his songs got 55 million streams, and they paid him $1,700. So
That doesn't
it's a
work
tough way
out
to
very
make
good,
dough.
does it?
No, it doesn't. But good thing about it is the fans get the music and basically for free, and if they like that, and there's something on the record that's strong and it trips their trigger, they'll go out and get the whole record. So
Yeah.
I guess it's okay. I don't want to look at it. Who knows what the new template's going to be in the music business? I think it's going to be some little jag off in the basement with the look of the world, who has a computer and has some great songs, and he just changes everything. That's what I can predict in the future, okay? One guy's going to change it all, and everybody's going to go, okay, there's the new format, there's the new template on how to sell records in the music business. In the meantime, it's about live shows, and maybe you get a chance to get it out there, and somebody's going to be in the crowd that does movies or soundtracks or commercials or something and wants to help you out. Otherwise, it's about just playing live shows, and hopefully people will get your stuff at the merch booth.
Yeah. Streaming has, though, for me, I mean, I'm a big Spotify guy, but I've actually found bands that I didn't know about through Spotify and then have went out and bought. But the whole point is, if you do like that band, then go out and buy their product. That's the whole thing. People forget to do that. You know,
That'd be nice.
don't keep streaming it.
A lot of people. I agree, but who are we to say anything? It's what the audience wants. And if they want the record, they'll go get it. And I think album sales are up 37%. People are buying records. And at the live shows, I see it when I go see Kiss or Cheap Trick or any of these tours out there. They sell records at the venue. So then all that money goes in the band's pockets. So that's kind of good.
Exactly. Alan?
That's all.
Well, Chip, can you tell the audience where they can find your band online?
Yeah, real easy. It's enoughsenough.com, ENUFF, ZNUFF, enoughsenough.com, and you can get us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Chip Zenuff. And it's pretty easy to find us nowadays. There's nowhere to hide, my friends. I'm looking for a fucking cubby hole, but there's not one in sight.
Awesome.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Yeah.
No, I'm running.
Actually,
I'm running. Yeah, with all the wheels are turning on this little semi I'm driving right now on the tour. The old days of the tour buses, that's gone. $1,200, $1,500 a day for a bus. It's unfathomable how a band can go out there and tour without getting some kind of support somewhere besides labels or a financial backer. I think you're better off just dropping in, getting in that old rickshaw, just pedaling your ass off to that fucking city. That's the cheapest way to do it, okay? And for us, it's a conventional way for us because backline is usually provided on a lot of these shows, but we're bringing our own backline. We want these shows to be incendiary.
cool.
So we're going to go out, we'll have a nice vehicle, and we'll have a trailer, and we'll play the shows and hang out with the fans all night. And then the next day, it's the old wash, rinse, repeat. 44 shows in 48 days.
Wow.
Oh my God,
Dude,
is that what it is? It's 40. It's
That's what
44
it is.
shows.
It's ridiculous.
Holy
Yeah, hardly
shit!
any days off. You guys don't understand how difficult it is. This is a real challenge for any band, not just Enough Stuff, any band to go out there and play a bunch of shows in a row. There's not a lot of days you can take off because there's too many bills, i.e. Hotel rooms, fuel, your vehicle. It all adds up at the end of the day. And I think I look at the numbers, and I talk to my accountant, who I'm not very happy with right now, and he says we're going to be fine. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, you can't predict on a tour, okay, here's what you're going to make and here's what you're not going to make because new things pop up all the time. But what I'm looking at right now is a pretty solid tour, this Live Nations tour, and I think they're great venues. All these House of Blueses and the Paramount Theaters and the Wiltern. It's really nice rooms.
Well, I tell you what, though, Chip, I say we hope the best for you guys. I mean, it's going to be a solid lineup, and I know it's going to be a good tour. We hope the best for you guys. I hope everybody goes out and checks you guys out. I'm going to at least try to see one of them. And I know Bill's already got tickets for one.
Yep.
So I might even be going to that one because I think I'm off that night, so I might go with you, Bill.
Yeah.
If I
I
get
think
tickets.
I think I have 4 tickets, so I have one for you.
Well, then
What
I'll
about me?
probably take.
I got one for you.
All
right.
right.
So there we go.
I gotta drag my 17-year-old with me.
So
I'm sure
Chip,
he'll be
if we end up hitting that show, Chip, we'll hit you up beforehand. Maybe talk to you before
Got
or
it.
after.
Yeah. What about, is Bill bringing his wife?
No.
Not to
Good.
not where
So-
you're going to be there.
Okay. Yeah. There's no need to bring sand to the beach, I guess, huh?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Well,
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're bringing your girl, make sure you're the chaperone there, because my band loves trim.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I'll keep her. I gotta keep her locked up, man.
that's funny. All right, Chip. Hang tight for a minute, Chip. I'm going to
Hang
take
here
us
for a
out of here. We'll talk to you for a minute after we're done.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
All right, folks, check us out on agesofrock.com. Hit our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that good stuff. Find us on Stitcher Radio, podchaser.com. Give us a 5-star review. We don't want any of those 1-star reviews. Those make Dennis cry, which is pretty funny, but beside the point. Anyway, until next week, y'all. Oh, before I forget, don't forget to check our rebroadcast out on kgfrocks.com on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Till next time, peace out, folks. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.